Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is going to be a recap review of the casting special for Ready to Love Last Resort. So I didn't know if this was going to be the actual episode or not. I really thought this really was going to be the first episode of the new season, but it wasn't. They actually did a casting special this time. I think for this show last season, which was the first season, they were going to do just the regular stuff or whatever, and I took it upon myself to go on my own website and I went over everybody. It was either for this show or another show, but it was definitely on, and I do think it was for this show. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So just in case you are unaware, this season is going to be based out of Houston, Texas. There are people who are from various parts of Texas, and I think mainly everybody is from Houston or have been living in Houston or whatever. So there are 20 singles, and all of them will be living under one roof. That is going to be the difference this time. So yeah, we ended up seeing everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over everybody in the order in which they appeared on the screen. So the first person is Cal Fani. He is 38 years old. He's a personal trainer. He was looking like some delicious chocolate. It's the neck for me. I have a random fetish, if you will. I like a thick athletic neck that's kind of like somebody who plays like basketball or football. Like, it's definitely not that thick neck dude that everybody had been making memes and gifs of. It's a completely different kind of thick neck. But yeah, if you see this dude, you understand what I'm talking about. But he looked good. The second person is Rashid. He's 42 years old. He had been married for 10 years and he had a son. And he has been divorced for 2 years, and he works as concierge for this high-end luxury car service. Apparently that has really been a thing in recent years. And I mean, I guess that works especially for all these people who have money to throw away, or if you just want to, have something for a weekend, or possibly like somebody's prom or just a random event, and you ain't got your own luxury vehicle, then I mean, that's just the way to go, I guess. That really has become a thing, and I have just been like, okay. But anyway, if it works for him, cool, do what you do. So the next person, his name is Brian, and he's 35 years old. He is an education consultant. He seems to really be into that, and he believes in advocating for the kids, and so I'm here for that. He has a 3-year-old daughter, and it's the beard for me. So then we start going into women, and for whatever reason, they start mixing it up after this group of women that I'm going to introduce to y'all. So, I mean, because at first they made it seem like, okay, we're going to introduce the women. I mean, we're going to introduce the men, and then it's going to be the women. So I was just like, okay. So anyway, Joy is 38 years old, and she is a management consultant. To me, her hair was everything. I was just like, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I had a wig that looked kind of like the way that she had her hair. And I just didn't have as defined of curls that she did. But within 5 years, I'm hoping that my hair will be exactly like that, because that's exactly how I'll be wearing it as often as I can. But yeah, I live for that. I live for it. And it's just simple, like this part, like one of the sides is parted, and it's mainly like this, and it just falls in its layer. It is so cute. Oh my gosh. Joy is gorgeous. The cheekbones. Oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, she is gorgeous. And it's funny because you would think that people like her wouldn't have experienced what she has, but she has been ghosted, and all of that. She said that, well, before I get to the ghosted part, she said that, she had been married for 3 years, but within the first week of her being married, she ended up calling her pastor and telling them that she thinks she's made a mistake. So she stayed there for 3 years after that, and I'm just like, girl, why? But you could have had it annulled and some more before that, but okay. So anyway, she says that she has a very high sex drive, and she does not understand, why it's like that. And I'm like, girl, men reach their sexual peak at 19 years old. We women reach ours at 40 on average. All of this is on average. So that's why it's like that, girl. It is what it is. So don't think it's weird. This is normal. This is scientific. So anyway, yeah, but she's just making it plain like, I need somebody who can keep up with me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay, so the next person, her name is Adriana, and she's 31 years old. She is a realtor out of Houston, Texas. Oh, she was a cheerleader for the Houston Texans for 2 years, and she said that it seems as though the men were attracted to her, and they just thought that she was like this dumb cheerleader, and she's just like, nah, y'all probably are dumb, and I'm pretty sure that I'm smarter than y'all, and all of that. Like, it's crazy how people will peg her to be this ditzy person, but she says that she's not. She's just like, look, I want the simple things in life. I want to feel special. And she runs into too many men who feel as though they are the prize, but she wants to be the one who is deemed the prize. So I'm like, girl, see, you like me. I don't ask for much. But people be thinking that you be asking the world, and you don't even be asking the world of these folks. They be wanting to do the absolute most and in the absolute least at the same time. And it's like, you act like I asked you for everything, and I didn't even really ask you for much of nothing. But anyway, I digress. So the next single is Alicia. She's 38 years old. She is a clinic manager, y'all. If we are going to compare her to somebody, in a sense, she gives off Tandy vibes because she is thicker. I think Tandy has been losing weight and getting back down to the smaller size that she was before she was on Ready to Love last season, but she is kind of giving off Tandy vibes for me. And, of course, Tandy is very much so her own person. So I'm not trying to say, oh, she's trying to be Tandy or nothing like that. Keep in mind, I live for Tandy. And that is definitely her her handle, her on IG. But yeah, she is a brick house. She is not like the other women, size-wise. And she looks good with the weight on her. And we'll get into it later on, but some stuff is going to pop off, and we'll get into that. But anyway, she has an issue with seeing a man and she's just like, oh my God, she looks so good. I mean, and she has left somebody because they were short or they didn't look good together in pictures, and she is very vain when it comes to that, and she's gonna have to get out of that. I understand I want to be with somebody short, because that is just I don't know, but the ones that weren't short, it's like, girl, what was going on? Well, okay, this is her problem. I guess that she looks so mature that there are times she'll be in pictures with people and she'll look back on the pictures, and she said that she'll look like these people's mamas. And I'm like, woo, child. Woo. She gonna have to be able to dig deeper in order to find love, but I don't know if she gonna be able to get anything outside of an entanglement out of all of this. So the next person, her name is Winter, with a Y and not an I. She's 40 years old, 40. And she is a small business consultant. She was married. She did everything the way people consider to be the right way. She married somebody that was in the church. They got married, and within 3 weeks of them being married, her then husband was out here sleeping with people at his job. And yeah, so a lot of people who like to come in places and be like, well, you need to do it the right way. I'm like, that don't always work out. And it's sad, even if you're trying to do it the right way, it doesn't always pan out the way that you expect it to. So anyway, and this was 3 months. Okay, this was 3 weeks after their honeymoon. Let me make sure I correct myself. Yeah, he was sleeping with a coworker 3 weeks after their honeymoon. And she says for some reason she always picks the wrong men. She was like, you can line up 10 men in a room and somehow she is going to pick the wrong man. And I'm like, child, woo, child. Okay, so this is when they really start mixing it up with the men and the women and all that. Because they really confused me when they just started, bringing people on the screen, and it was like a man, and then it was a woman, and then it was like 2 men and then 2 women, and I don't know, it was so random because I thought they were doing the men and then the women. So anyway, back to the men with a man. This man's name is David, and he's 36 years old, and he is deemed a chemical operator. He apparently is a country boy to the core, and I'm here for it. He likes riding horses. He has trust issues. And he has been cheated on before, and so he does not allow himself to open up. So since he does not allow himself to open up, he has not been in any relationships like that. But he does want love, and he really does want to be in a fulfilling relationship. So hopefully he'll be able to find that by being on this show. We'll see. The next person's name is Jay. He is 43 years old. He's a real estate broker. He was married for around 5 years. He has a daughter, and he's kind of like me in the sense of he has parents who are happily married. And he was like, I would see my parents and my daddy would still watch my mama get up and look at her butt, and he looking like, you really still looking at her like that after all this time? Because they've been married like 40-some years. So it's like, sir, well, you got the one. That's it. Even though they in their 60s and 70s and all that stuff, shoot, if you got the one and you live for them like that, that's the way it should be. So I'm like, I'm here for it. Hopefully he'll find somebody, but y'all know how it can go. So the next person, her name is Simone. She's 37 years old. She's an attorney. I don't know. She might end up being one of these people who ends up finding an entanglement situation, because she has a threshold question, and her threshold question is, am I gonna like the way you look when you're naked or something like that? Do I want to see you naked? And it's like, girl, what they got to do? Okay, but I'm just like, that's nice and all, but I mean, if there's no substance behind all that, then what's the point? There are plenty of people who look good and they still dog you out and treat you like trash, but you was over here living for the fact that they look good naked. But okay then. But all right. I'm going to need for you to look for something fulfilling. Like, I'm going to need for you to look for somebody who has some substance. But all right. Anyway, she has daddy issues, and she tends to end up with dudes who are like her father. She has realized this, and she actually got together with her father, and they actually started going to therapy together, and they have healed a lot. And so she's hoping that since she has been resolving her daddy issues, that will kind of put an end to the things that she has experienced in the dating world. So we'll see, because her daddy was toxic and she was dating toxic men, and you already know that ain't it. That ain't the move, especially if you actually want to be in a fulfilling relationship. All right, so Sam is a 36-year-old visual artist. So I was already intrigued when I heard that part of it, because I'm here for art and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, man, I see you. For whatever reason, when they were introducing him and they did like the little slow walk, he looked like Leon. And y'all know Leon is Cynthia Bailey's baby daddy, friend, all that stuff or whatever. Leon just be looking how he looking. But y'all let me know if I was just looking too fast. But initially, when they had him do the slow walk, introducing him, he looked like Leon for a quick second and a half. And I was like, ooh. All right. Anyway, interesting enough, he had, gotten into a situation with someone where he was getting to know this person, and they had been having sex, and within the first week of them getting to know one another, she was pregnant. Now, this is what I'm not understanding. For whatever reason, she did not want him to be at the birth of their son. So he had to sit that out, and I'm like, why though? Like, I'm gonna need for you to go into depth. I feel like there is some underlying issues with her, him, or something that ain't being spoken about. What's going on? Why would she just be like, I don't even want you there? So he was talking about how, he felt some type of way because he wasn't there to hold the child and, be there and all of that. And he wants to be in a relationship with someone where he can be the father that he's always wanted to be. And I'm like, I need to know more information. I keep trying to tell y'all, I need to know information. Because I feel like ain't nobody just going to be like, I don't want you to be there. Like, what? Why? Why though? But anyway, so yeah, that was strange to me. I was like, what is going on with that? All right, so Denise is 39 years old and she's a track and field coach. She went to Gravelin State University. Ow! Girl, yes, look, come on with the HBCU. Ow! But yeah, she went there and she was offered an opportunity to go to the Olympics at some point. The way she said it seemed like she got the offer, but she didn't go. And I don't know, because I feel like if she had gone, she would have at least said she went and she enjoyed the experience, but whatever. She loves that. She has ran track for forever, and she loves the fact that that is something that she's able to coach and still, do what she loves. And she's done for the majority of her life. So that's what she does. She has been in like 3 relationships in all of her life. She was one of those people where she had a high school sweetheart and it ended up, overlapping into college. And then she had another relationship. And apparently like the second real relationship that she was in, the dude was really controlling and the most was popping off. And she was just like, I never want to be in a situation like that again. And I don't blame her. So she has been single for the last 4 years. Chris is a guy who is 42 years old, and he is a radio host, and he goes by the name of KG Smooth. I don't know. It's like one minute he look all right, and then the next minute he look like, okay. I don't know. Am I seeing? I don't know what's going on, y'all. Because I was like, okay, he look all right now. And then they'll do another shot of him. And I'm like, and it's not that he's ugly or anything. I was just like, am I all right? Or are they just getting bad angles of him? But anyway, he is, chocolatey and all of that. And he's just like, look, I'm a radio personality and I haven't really had that many relationships like that. And since he's kind of high profile, of course, because he's a radio host, he has all these perks, but he wants to be able to be with someone who isn't using him for said perks. And, he wants something that's going to be real. He wants a melanated queen. I was like, oh, you just said it all too much. You want some melanin. I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, he said that his last relationship ended in 2012. And it's, it seems like it's mainly because of people attaching themselves to him because of what connections he has. And that's sad, but it is what it is. So the next person's name is Danny, and it's a woman. She's 41 years old. She's a project coordinator. She married young, and she has a daughter who is, very, she's not young at all. She was a teen mom. She had her when she was like 17 years old. So her daughter is well aware of what is going on, but she has been so protective of her daughter that she did not want to bring any men around her daughter like that. And when she was, open to loving relationships, it didn't last that long because she just did not want the wrong men to be introduced to her daughter. You could tell that she wears a heart on her sleeve. She had moments where she would get very emotional. So I'm very interested to see how her journey will pan out, because even though her daughter is definitely of age and can understand things that are going on and can say, Mom, I'm here for that dude. He seemed cool and all that other stuff. I would love to see how it's going to pan out for her, because she's very guarded when it comes to her daughter. And that has been her main reason for not really getting out there like that. So now it's gotten to a point where her daughter wants her to get out there. So she's like, I'm doing this for my daughter. You know, of course she wants happiness, but in the past it's been all about her daughter. So now it's time for mama to live. All right, so the next person, his name is Edwin. He's 39 years old and he is a personal chef. He said that when he was in the military, somebody sent a tape over of Sex in the City. He loved Sex in the City. And since he's a personal chef, he was trying to think of something that he could kind of name the situation, his business and all that stuff. And it's like Chefs in the City or something like that. He looks good. He looks good. He has the salt and pepper going on in the beard, and he got like that. Y'all know that dude. I can't think of his name. It's an actor. For as long as I can remember, that man had this one random patch of gray, even when he was young. I lived for like birth situations like that. But yeah. He had like a whole, the dude on here, Edwin, he has like a patch right here. One thing that kind of, I think it was another situation, it was a whole other situation where the angles or something made him look older, like much older at times. Like he was in the car recording something of himself and he looked, you know, up there in age and not 39 years old. But in most of the pictures and video that they showed, he did look really good and he looked his age or a little bit younger. So I'm here for it. But I'm ready to see how that's going to be. I think that he going to be one of the ones where everybody going to live for him. We going to see how that go. I don't know. Because it's like, I feel like he know he look good. So it's like, I know what I bring to the table, but you go bring to the table. He might be playing the field a lot because, you know, of course it's dating, but people get jealous. The beard is everything. The hair is everything to me. The curls was popping a little bit. And he's just like, look, I love women. She has to be active, whoever I end up with, and she has to be fun. So we gonna see how this go. All right, so this woman, the next person is this woman who's 41 years old. Her name is Shea, and she's a chef as well. She's a private chef as well, and she has a 24-year-old daughter, and that same daughter has a 1-year-old, which makes her a grandmother. So, she was a teen mom, and she doesn't really have a type like that. Because she was like, if y'all look back on all the dudes I've dated, y'all would not be able to figure out what my type is because I really don't have a type. I was like, girl. But yeah, she really wants to be pursued. All right, so the next person is Naya, N-Y-Y-A. I've never seen anybody's name spelled Naya like that. But anyway, she's 42 years old. She's a salon owner. And she wants to have a baby, and she has had 4 miscarriages. So she's like, you know, if I do get in a situation and I have sex and all that stuff, I want to be able to, even if it's not marriage, because she says that marriage will come, she wants to be comfortable enough with a person to be like, okay, I'm with this person, we having sex, and, you know, pregnancy might happen, but she can get pregnant, but she has not been able to keep the kids because she always miscarriages. She always has miscarriages, excuse me. The next person, his name is Raymond. He's the oldest person on here. He's 52 years old, but he does not look it. He plays the guitar. He has played behind some major celebrities. I think he said Angie Stone, maybe Anthony Hamilton, like a lot of other people. And he said that's how he pays his bills. He has 5 kids. He has 3 girls and 2 boys. I don't know how that's gonna pan out for him because some people don't care, but that's 5 kids though. 5 kids. He said that his oldest son's mama, when he was with her, his pager went off and they were in a car, and so she started choking him and went off and did the. I'm like. Said that she's controlling. The most is just going on. Ain't nobody got time. So after their situation was over, he felt some type of way because when they weren't together anymore, She ended up going and getting with a younger dude who was like 29. And so he felt like, well, let me go get my body right because I ain't finna go out like that. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, we gonna see how this work out because I feel like he's gonna be another one who gonna be out here having people in their feelings over him in this house. The next person's name is Alex, and she is 32. She's a software specialist. She said that dating is like rough there. Like you would think it would be easy because it's so big, but nah. She said she was engaged, and like a month after them getting engaged, old boy was out here cheating. So she has been celibate for like 2 years. I love her teeth. I really do. The last person's name is Anthony. He's 38 years old. He's a student support manager. He was playing football at some point, and that's over with now because he's done like overseas and all that stuff too. He wasn't like out there like the Odell Beckhams and the, you know, whatever. He wasn't out there like them, but he actually had a career, and you know, he's focused on the management part of it now. Because I think he did sports medicine or something like that. I might have forgot what it's called because I have a friend who went to school specifically for that. I can't even think of the name of it. But anyway. But yeah, he was like, look, I wasn't ready for marriage back then. I wouldn't have been faithful, but now I'm ready. So, you know, hopefully he'll be able to find somebody, but I don't know. He said, well, he has a lot of energy, y'all. I was shocked. He was like, a lot of dudes don't dance. So they showed him twerking and doing the most. And then they showed him skating. I'm here for skating. I need to get back into skating. Skating is so amazing. It's amazing cardio. Oh my gosh, I need to get back into rollerblading, y'all. Love it. Love skating. There ain't no places around here really like that for nothing like that. But it is what it is. So anyway. But yeah, he was like, he wants a confident woman and all of that. So that's the end of all of that. There are 20 singles that will be living under one roof. They ended up doing a sneak peek, and it's a lot like it was last season where people are getting jealous because the dude or the woman they thought was the one for them, that what they were really vibing with, they over here with other people. So they looking like, I mean, what's going on here? What's going on? So Will Packer said that he feels like there are going to be a lot of love connections and a lot of entanglements, and I bust out laughing. And one thing that definitely is going to come up, which is a constant issue in our community, is the light skin versus dark skin situation. And I'm like, I feel like it's going to be here forever. It is what it is. I think the woman who is, who I told y'all, I feel like she's going to be the Tandy of this season. I think somebody's gonna approach her because somebody was like, oh well, you know, you light skinned and tall or something like that. And so I'm like, oh Lord, because y'all already know how it go. Y'all know. And my friend, I have friends that are a lot of guy friends that I'm able to be very honest with and get honest reactions from them. And one of my friends asked me the other day, you know, what you think about this? And he sent me something about light skin, dark skin or something. The person was ugly as sin. And he was like, I just don't understand why people do this. That person is so ugly. And the only reason why they were trying to talk to this person is because they ugly. I mean, it's because they light skin. And I'm like, it is what it is. And I mean, that has been a crazy situation for as long as I can remember. People be living for people only because of the fact that they're light skinned, and they really could be looking like Flavor Flav or even uglier in the face. And I'm like, what are you looking at? You literally have to only be looking at the fact this person is light skinned. But I always thought that was so crazy, but it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review for this. Let's see how this season goes, y'all. Let's see if anybody gonna get something out of it. Anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later on.